He looks to throw, looking deep downfield. He's got a receiver open. It is complete. That is Stevens for a touchdown.
The Bulldog Radio Network proudly presents the Coach Gray Show on 102.7 FM, Kearney's hometown radio station. And now, here are the hosts of the show, Mike Davis, Jim Dickerson, and Coach Josh Gray.
Yeah, the studio audience. Yeah, that's the box seats right there, baby, because they're here for the Coach Gray Show. Welcome to the Coach Gray Show. Get this, the third year of the Coach Gray Show. No kidding. Yep. Right here, 102.7 FM. It's the kind of entertainment, yes, this is the kind of entertainment we bring you. And I can't do this alone. I have my sidekick and the voice of the Kearney Bulldogs sitting to my right. Mr. Jim Dickerson is with us today.
And I have, I'm kind of a big deal. I do have a question. On the intro, did I see new aerial video? I did not.
Yeah, well.
Forget I brought it up.
I
have no more questions. Back to you, Mike.
It's great video nonetheless. But
you're not supposed to talk about it because no one's seen it yet. I thought I glanced up and saw it on the monitor.
Well, now everybody wants to see it.
I was wrong.
Picture it, if you will, in your mind's eye.
Someday.
Yep.
Someday you'll see it.
The star of this show, we're just guests on the Coach Gray Show. When you think about it, I mean, we couldn't do this without the one and only Coach Gray. Welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Thank you.
Good to see you here on a cool day, and feels a little bit more like football season, I think, than maybe the last couple of games. But let's get right in the middle of this. We want to talk about our it was the home opener. It was the official home opener last week, and senior night, which was really cool. And by the way, a nice job on the announcing.
You have a new career coming.
Well, I don't know about that. I'll stick to coaching, but opportunity ever.
Well, we heard your voice over the PA system, and it was amazing.
Yeah, that was a kind of a special thing we were able to do. And,
right.
Coach Remley did a nice job of kind of fitting that piece in for us, so we could do that. And Coach Wrestler up there in the box were handling everything with that, so that turned out nice.
It was cool and neat to see, and it's always interesting to see the seniors walk through, with their folks, and really get an opportunity to see what they're going to do, what their plans are for the future, and you learn a lot about the kids, and just a short walk down, 50 yards or so, and it's pretty cool.
I do like the ones where you say, and I'll make up a name, but you're like, and Johnson doesn't know what he wants to do.
Well, who did? Really, in actuality.
I mean, a lot of people don't, but it's kind of funny when you say that.
Well, I read what they write in front of me.
Nice. Did you get to practice? Or
actually, I did that in one take.
Really?
What? If you can believe that.
The one-take wonder.
It was,
I can't even do things in one take. Ask Brian.
And just
he's like, let's do it again.
Well, it was awesome to see, though, and great seeing the kids out there. So it was our official home opener, and as most folks know by now, it was a 35-14 loss to the Platte County Pirates. We do have some bright spots that we want to cover. There were some really amazing plays. I don't really necessarily want to get into that right this moment because I'd like to hear your thoughts on the game. We talked just briefly off the air, but let's talk about what a loss like that does to the program, how it hurts, how it helps. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, first off, it was great to honor the seniors, to kind of go back on that piece. It was a good night to kind of recognize them and make sure that they were recognized, and they've done a lot for the program through their years, and it was obviously good to recognize the football players, the cheerleaders, and the Golden Girls, I think, as well, and so that's a good night for that, and that was definitely special to have that piece to start us out. As far as the game, I don't think it was a loss, and we've got to be able to bounce back from that. And as we watched it, we pointed out a lot of the good things that we did. Obviously anybody can point out the things that went wrong. I mean, those are always the things that get magnified. But what we tried to do on Saturday was to bring some positivity of the things that we did and make sure that we're working on those things and fix the things that we needed to clean up, and that's any week. That's whether you win or lose, there's always, things that need to improve. right? And there's always things that you're looking on like, man, that was good to see. So we focused on the positive things and the good things that we saw from Friday night, and we want to continue that piece. And then the other things we feel that will come, and we'll definitely be better than where we were last week. And that's all you can really ask is, each day that we show up to practice, we strive to get better. And our kids really responded well on Monday with Monday's practice, Tuesday's practice, and Wednesday. Really came with a sense of urgency, and kind of our theme was refocus on what we need to do as a team to get better, and refocus on how we started the season back in the summer and what we were doing, what were our goals, and how we do things, and how we show up to a game, and how we mentally prepare and physically prepare for an opponent each week. And so that was kind of an eye opener for us this week, and kind of refocusing on what it is that we need to do, because we know what we need to do. It's
right.
Obviously consistency and making sure that we're performing each down, and it's each down's a new clean down. So
yeah, when you look at tape on a game like that, or film or digital, you know what I'm talking about. We give away our ages at times, don't we? When you look at those replays, there are specific things, I'm sure, that you can point to and say, like right here, for example. Yeah. And how much of that goes on, or do you make a quick note of it and say, you could have done this, or move here, or when this happens, do this? I mean, is that something that you go through on a detailed basis, or do you kind of blow past it, or how does that work out on those Saturdays?
Yeah, I think as we watch it, so we'll watch it Friday night, rewatch the game, kind of grade it out, and see how everybody graded on each play, and offense, defense, and special teams, and look at that, and then we use that as definitely a teaching moment. Right. I mean, when you watch film, has such an impact. We feel that you can see what they did. They can see what they did, they did correctly, and what they need to improve on. Oh, you did this wrong, or you had a mental bust, or you had wrong step, wrong. You made this missed tackle. Here's what you need to do. It's a great teaching tool.
Yeah.
And to utilize those Saturday mornings to show them the things that, okay, here's what you did. Here's what we need to. How you need to improve what you did wrong. They may have known it, and they made a mental bust. They just didn't get it done.
Yeah.
But then we also show them the positive things, so that they understand. Oh, here's where I did it right. Here's what I'm able to do because I see myself actually doing it. And that's a huge, teaching piece as well.
Oh, it's a great tool.
I think,
yeah.
You better show the good things as well, because that's. That confidence in knowing that they are capable of doing what you ask them to do, and how to perform and how to play. So,
right. I'm tempted to get into the glorious stuff that I have written here.
Well, before you go glorious,
yeah, let's do.
I mean, let's be honest. The Runkey was not your average quarterback over there.
No doubt about
Platte
that.
County, and one of the things we talked about before the show off the air. He had the ability to throw those little fade passes that you normally don't see in high school. You see them attempted, and they go really bad. But he had one, and I think, did we say that was the first quarter?
Yeah.
Was that the first quarter?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
And he kind of blocked out the defender. I mean, that's tough to defend even at a professional level.
Yeah.
So,
and I've seen professionals that can't have that kind of touch on the ball to get it to just sort of like fly over everybody's head and in the receiver's
where
arms.
it's supposed to be.
Right.
They do he's a heck of a quarterback.
No doubt.
He's definitely going to be one of the best ones that we've seen. And he's got a great talent. He's got some great receivers, and he's I think the things that they were able to do to the receivers to position, like you just talked about, to get themselves in a body position and to making some of those plays. And I thought defensively, we played a pretty decent game. I know at times that those big plays were there. I think we were at times maybe a step or two behind, or a step or two in the wrong, where we needed to be. And but I think credit to them, they have a pretty high-powered offense, passing offense, and they ran the ball well as well. I mean, kudos to them and what they did.
I don't know if they're able to do that every week, but the way they executed was really good.
Well, what we saw, Jim, was this fast-paced offense. No huddle. And
that was the other thing.
Right?
Yeah, the no
and
huddle.
Quick to the line, and it was 3 wide every time. I mean, I don't think I saw them out of that formation ever. And I mean, that starts to become tough to defend, I would imagine. I mean, because it's a lot of guesswork when they're moving that quickly. Or am I wrong?
No, I mean, they're a high-paced, fast offense, like you said. That's kind of their motive on that. And I think with us, we were, I don't say shell-shocked with that. I mean, we know what they do. We've played them for a while and know what they're capable of. So I think the things that we were able to do this week to clean up some of that will definitely, that game will benefit us down the road.
Yes.
As we go through the season, for sure.
But you're right. I mean, when you have a team like they did, where maybe they do it every week, maybe not, but when they execute so well, it just magnifies. If you take one step in the wrong direction,
right.
Your coverage just isn't perfect. Sometimes you can get away with that, but it magnifies it when, yeah.
I also think, and we talked about this just briefly before we started, was that you had a lot of sophomores out there, a lot of guys that are new to the Friday night lights and all the activity and the excitement. How much is it going to help those guys to see a team like that who executes so well and so quickly on a Friday night? How much will that help them down the road?
I think for those sophomores or even the juniors or even a senior coming in, any game that you're playing where it's a close game where we're down and then we kind of make a comeback and kind of are striving through some of those, difficult series at times. And being in that kind of adverse situation, I think definitely will help us down the road. And I think we have a very confident team. I think we have a very solid football team. I think our guys have done a great job and, done a great job this week coming back after a loss when, you could have your head down and thinking, well, dang, we just, got beat and woe is me. And
right.
No, they've responded very well coming back this week with practice. So going back to your question, that I think it definitely, it will have some advantages for everybody that played. The more you play on a Friday night, the more you play on a Friday night. And
right.
And the more that becomes just another thing. And it's just another game regardless of who you're playing. And, I think those guys that are on the field know that. I think they knew that going into the game. It doesn't, the guys that are on the field are the guys that are ready to play the football game.
Yeah.
And regardless of age or grade or whatever, our expectation is the expectation, and they understand that, and they're on the field for a reason, and they're capable.
You talk about the spirit of the team and their positive attitude. I was down on the field early shooting some pictures as the guys were getting warmed up, and man, I could feel it. I'm not kidding you. There was a vibe that I was picking up, and I thought, we got this, man. We got this. And by the way, those guys are a whole lot bigger than you think they are. You go stand next to them, and it's like all of a sudden, wow, these guys they're huge. Yeah. So, well, maybe not huge. They're high school players, but
normally, we're way up there.
So,
we're like looking down. Oh, there.
But you really get a chance to watch them, and they were just zeroed in, man, so focused. So I hear exactly what you're saying, though, and I think it's true. I look for this team to bounce right back, and it sounds like they did in practice this week.
Yeah, they have, and and that says, as that game kind of unfolded, watching it, it was never, well, we're down 14 or we're down whatever. It was, all right, next play, we got it. It was never a, take a breath and okay, here we go. It was always, to me, it seemed as though we were still, we were in fighting the entire time, and and they showed that. We just ended up on the short end of the stick and didn't make enough plays that we needed to make to come out with the win. And that's execution, I think, at times, and that's experience at times. I think there's a lot of things that factor in that, but. Like you said before, I think any Friday night game that you're out, you're going to gain that experience and be able to improve on and reflect back upon. Just like, the week before against Fort, we have that experience of being in a tight game and being able to overcome some things and come out on top. reflect back to next week against Platte County, we didn't quite get over that hump and didn't quite get enough plays done and execute the way we wanted to execute to do that. So you kind of have both of those things in your tool belt to be able to reflect upon as you kind of go forward. And I think our guys, like I said before, we talked about a renewed focus, and this week we've started out that way. Now, obviously, tomorrow night we got another tough game in front of us against another great opponent, and I think our guys are pretty dang dialed in and ready to go.
Well, we'll come back and talk about it. You're listening to the Coach Gray Show. We've got the coach in studio with us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Always remember to thank the underwriters for their support of KPGZ.
Whether you're a large or small business, or just want internet at your home, Casey Coyote is here to help with all your internet needs. We pride ourselves on being a redundant, resilient, and reliable network to provide you with the best internet available. You can give Casey Coyote a call and talk to one of our local, friendly customer service representatives to see if you pre-qualify for our service at your home or business. Casey Coyote at 816-866-3038.
Injuries can happen anywhere, playing sports or playing with your kids or grandkids.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Strathman with Kearney Family Chiropractic Center, and I've been practicing chiropractic health in Kearney for over 22 years. When you come to see me, I identify what's wrong and determine if I can help you. If I can, I create your personalized plan for relief.
When you have pain, you can make an appointment by calling 816-628-6738. Kearney Family Chiropractic Center. Heal yourself.
Legendary Lawn Care. That's right. Legendary is your one-stop lawn equipment center. They've got over 40 years of experience with technicians who service all makes and models of lawn equipment. 4853 Southeast Highway PP in Holt. 816-320-3878. And don't forget to look for the special coupon on 1027carneymo.com/coupons. Let the friendly and knowledgeable staff at Legendary Lawn Care find the right legendary service for your needs.
Friday Night Sports. When athletes compete, they give it their all. At Liberty Hospital Sports Medicine, we're staying open Friday nights after the lights to treat the bumps and bruises that are part of the game. At Liberty Hospital Sports Medicine, we'll have physicians available to evaluate and treat right on the spot. So after the lights, remember Liberty Hospital Sports Medicine every Friday night from 9 to 11 p.m.
And welcome back to the Coach Gray Show. We're going to talk a little bit about the game coming up against Smithville tomorrow night, but I did want to do a couple of housekeeping things. Number one, thanks to the Quarterback Club for some of the pictures that you've seen through the show, and they keep coming up.
Yeah.
So those still shots we got from them, and thank you very much for allowing us to use those. Secondly, yes, we've been getting emails and questions about it for the game tomorrow. Are we going to broadcast it? Sadly, the answer is no. And the reason is, as we've always said, over at Smithville, the stadium doesn't have the logistics for us to be there. We tried it one year. They don't have the systems we need to do it. We have the ability. They don't. I'm always glad when it's not our fault. But anyway, so we're unable to do the game tomorrow night, but we will be doing the game again the week after that when we come back to Kearney.
Who is that? Anybody know off the top of your head?
Yes, I do. That is Grain Valley. Is that right?
I think that's right.
Does that sound right?
Ruskin.
Okay. Well,
I have Grain Valley and Ruskin. I don't know what these means. I have these notes.
I know. Well, we got Smithville in front of us. We got Smithville in front of us, so we're not worried about it right now.
Well, we are worried about Ruskin because somebody at this table, and I'm not going to name any names, went to Ruskin, but that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago.
Jim Dickerson.
Yeah.
What?
So we used to.
No idea. I just learned something.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no.
I went to Ruskin. So
all right.
There was a big long wooden bar.
Would you be wearing your letter jacket that night?
Why are you laughing?
It won't fit. Mine doesn't.
I was going to say, no. The answer to that question, just in real simple terms, no, I won't. But you know what? If you want me to, I'll wear one I'll wear one of my old T-shirts. It looks like a halter top now, but I'll wear it. Oh,
boy. That's a visual I got to get rid of in a hurry.
My brain.
Let's focus on Smithville. I didn't go there.
Well, I don't want to go too far into Smithville before we talk about, Jim, we've got some
that's right.
outstanding plays.
We'll talk about Smithville later. I brought it up.
Let's set those boys aside for the moment because we do want to talk about them. But there were, Coach, some bright spots to last Friday night, and you heard them, and you saw them. And the first one that I want to talk about, and this was 10:54 left in the second quarter, and this was a play to behold. Dawson Meinert pitched a snapback to Ian Acosta, who throws the ball 35 yards to Hayden Douglas he wasn't quite to the end zone, but he made it to the end zone. Or was it in the end zone? I'm trying to recall. In any case, it was a touchdown, and that was our Kearney Chamber of Commerce play of the game, and we've got some sound from that one.
And Meinert takes the snap, tosses it back to Acosta. Now Acosta's going to throw. He throws downfield. He's got an open receiver, and that is a touchdown. That is a touchdown. That was Hayden Douglas. Yep. And that was an outstanding 35-yard touchdown.
Nobody was expecting that play, Jim, and especially after we saw Ian Acosta run that reverse. Everybody's looking for Acosta to run the reverse. And what do we have? We've got Meinert throwing to Acosta, tossing the ball back to Acosta, and Acosta throws that ball like a quarterback for the touchdown.
In the second quarter, and it was just one of those plays that I thought was a momentum changer, and I thought, now here we go.
Yeah.
Now we're on it.
Yeah, Ian unloaded, and Hayden caught a heck of a ball, and that was definitely a good highlight.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Again, but you didn't say, well, Nelly, what did you say?
I can't remember. It was like, whoa, baby, or something like that. I don't know, okay. But it was not a whoa,
well,
Nelly.
At least this time he wasn't going, Jim. Did you see that?
Right?
No, I'm sorry. I missed it. I was
if you're not getting excited watching this team, you're not breathing, man, because it's fun. And the other one here, we've got another one with, and we were deep. This was a defensive play. And we were deep in Bulldog territory. I'm sorry, Platte County was deep in Bulldog territory and threatening to score. And they did that a few times. And this was late in the first half. Quarterback Chris Runke was pressured out of the pocket by our Bulldog defense, and they were coming after him. They were coming hard. And Runke is back on his heels, and he releases the ball, and Carson Frakes intercepted the pass in the end zone, which was a wonderful play. We've got sound on that, Brian.
Runke looking to throw. There's a flag down. Intercepted in the end zone. That's Frakes. Frakes is out to the 5. He's brought down at the 10. There's a flag on the play. The flag is going to be against the Pirates.
So we were hoping that teachable moment that maybe that Carson Frakes would have maybe taken a knee there in the end zone, but. And I'll bet you he'll never forget that moment.
No, he won't. That was a heck of a play by him, and was in the right spot, broke on the ball, and made a great play.
Yes.
Now, in his defense, I'm going to get in trouble for this, just so you know. But in his defense, because I'm sure this all went through his mind at that particular second, there was only like 41 seconds left.
Right.
So
and he saw an opening.
There was
seeing an opening, and he's like, I'm thinking ESPN highlight reel, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
It didn't quite play
Chances
out.
are he knew better, but he said, you know what? I see an opening there, and I'm going. But terrific play by Carson Frakes, and one heck of an athlete. It's really neat. I mentioned last week seeing these kids playing both ways.
Carson's done a great job.
Great hands. Yeah,
been a great leader for us, and has stepped up and done some really really nice things defensively. Obviously, you saw him, and then obviously offensively, does a great job at wide receiver.
Well, and that was huge because it could have very well been like 28-7 going into the half, and then it was only 21-7.
Yeah, and again, I just think it's neat seeing him go, on both sides, offense and defense. And Carson was another one of those guys that I think on Friday night that was in position so many times to make a play. And in fact, at the high school level, he was so tight on his coverage that a lot of times you'll see that flag come flying out of the official's pocket because they're just a little too close. And I'm telling you, I mean, he was virtually in those guys' pockets all night long.
Yeah.
And that quarterback, Runke, I mean, absolutely was putting the ball on the money, and there wasn't a whole lot we could do about it. So we saw the amazing play, last weekend of Carson Frakes on both sides of the ball. This last one's pretty good too. The Bulldogs had the first possession in the second half, and this was wonderful. And the sophomore, Luke Nolan, returned the kickoff, 91 yards for a Kearney Bulldog touchdown. Nolan had 126 yards on 2 returns and the touchdown, which made him this week's 102.7 FM Stables Grill Player of the Week. Let's have a listen.
Here's the kickoff. It's a high end-over-end kick. It's brought in at the 10-yard line. That's going to be Nolan, and he's got running room. He's at the 50. He's past everybody. 30, 20. He's free. 10. Touchdown. Touchdown for a run back. That's Luke Nolan for a 90-yard kickoff return to start the second half.
What did I talk about, Jim? Just before we went into the halftime and during halftime, you are one play away from scoring a touchdown, and that's what it takes. Something like that. Special teams matter. Anybody that thinks they don't, have a look at this evidence right in front of you.
Special teams matter. Oh.
I was going to say, okay, full disclosure here for just a second. So Luke took the ball in. He went into a pile, and I looked down for a second. I wanted to double-check something, and I hear Mike behind me going, oh.
And I'm pushing him on his back.
And I'm like, what? So I actually... Instead of now watching the game, I'm turning around to look at Mike like, what? And here Luke is running.
He breaks free, and then it's wide open.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I'm like,
clear sailing.
Oh, looky there.
So thanks so much to Stables Grill for sponsoring that Player of the Week. And that was, it's difficult at times to pick one of those plays because there's so many good plays. But I'm telling you that when we in the booth are going, oh, and trying to keep just from being a fan, which is difficult. We can't not be fans. But in any case, great play, and wow, what a fun little bit of change of momentum.
Yeah, he's really stepped up, and for being a sophomore, has done a good job of keeping pretty grounded. He's very coachable, and he found his blockers and made a good cut, and he turned the burners on because he's a pretty fast cat.
Yeah, I guess he's a track guy then, right?
Yeah. I should say fast dog.
Yeah, there it is. I like that. Yeah, I thought cat was kind of cool though.
Have you met Geppetto?
Yeah, he had So he's done a great job, and being able to.
Oh, nice picture. Yeah,
that one there.
Anyway, yeah, great shots too, and thanks again to the Quarterback Club to some of those shots that you're seeing on Facebook Live. Jim, anything else that you remember that I've forgotten that I made funny noises in the booth about last Friday night?
Well, no, we talked a little bit about it. Although we were down, we never were out, I didn't think, obviously, till the last few seconds of the game. But everybody stayed focused, and just like Mike said, at any one play, we were right back in it. Starting the second half, coming back, we're only down by 7. There were a lot of things that I really liked and really enjoyed watching the team. I mean, it's fun to watch.
Well, this team
is fun to watch.
Right, we saw them the week before with this explosive offense that was so tight and so well oiled. I mean, they just got after it, and so I was thinking, okay, we're 2 scores away, 2 plays away from tying this thing up and taking care of business and taking this game over. And
I think that goes with the continued maturity of the team. Like we said kind of off air before, that we've just got to be consistent and understand that, hey, there's teams that are going to come smack us in the mouth. We're playing football. And we've got to be able to respond and play up to our capability and be consistent at that. I mean, you can, like you said, practice, everything looks like it should for the most part. And when you face an opponent, you've got to be ready to respond to their punch and punch back and keep going and keep punching and executing and doing the things that you've done in practice and been coached to do. So, that game's behind us and we're looking forward to tomorrow night. And, I think our guys are, from practice this week, like I said before, that we've been cleaned up a lot of the things that needed to be cleaned up, and with that consistency piece and understanding that it's got to be an all the time thing, and you can't ever relax when you're playing the game of football. You can't say, okay, well, here we go, and it's got to be, you got to be dialed in all the time, and I think a learning piece from last week going on to this week.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because last night I was watching, there was a special on because the Chiefs are playing tonight, and they were doing a whole special on the coaches, and then they went through the whole year of how everything worked, and they talked about a couple of the games where the exact same thing happened to the Chiefs that happened to you. They drew it up in practice, it worked perfectly, but for some reason the defense poked a hole in it and it disrupted the timing and it didn't work like it was supposed to. So point of that being that even at the professional level, you can draw it up, you can practice it, you think you've got it all ironed out, and then boom,
sure,
what do they say?
And you have to go back and fix it.
Yeah, they're scholarship players on both sides.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and you can't win every game. The only thing you guys haven't done yet, maybe you ought to look at, is that Rose Bowl play where they all do the pirouette and go in. I don't know if you want to.
That was cool.
Maybe you are working on it and you wait till the last minute like the Chiefs did.
Coach, I want to talk about another young man who we don't have any sound necessarily on it, but Andrew Swain, from the very beginning of the game on defense, you talk about somebody that was getting in the backfield. He put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, Chris Ruhnke. And at one point, I even mentioned to Jim, I said, Andrew Swain is a step or two away from a sack. And I think eventually he caught up with him and got a sack, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
At least got him down.
Right. Yeah. He's got a heck of a motor.
Yeah.
Gets off the ball well, has really matured over the last year, and has done a nice job of understanding the position. I mean, it's not just, obviously you're going out there, line up as a defensive end and you just go. There's a little bit more to it, and has really done a good job of learning and understanding the position and getting his body in position to make plays and to understand what the offense is doing, whether it's a passing situation or a run situation, has really stepped up and has been playing with a great sense of urgency and a sense of purpose and what he wants to do. And last Friday he had a heck of a game.
He did. When you see a kid in the backfield like that, a defender in the backfield, he's already done some incredible athletic moves just to get there, and to be a step or two away from taking the quarterback down behind the line of scrimmage. It doesn't happen by accident.
Yeah.
So
and we've got Andrew has been a great mentor for some of our other younger guys, and we got some guys on the team that are knocking on the door to get on the field. We're close, with some of our younger guys to be able to rotate in to put in position to be on the field, and that's been fun to see.
Yeah,
to see some of the light bulb all of a sudden just kind of come on. Oh yeah, I get it, man.
Yeah,
and you see it now. It's the pieces being consistent with it, and so that's been fun. And he's been a big piece of that, a big part of kind of the success of some of our younger guys. Are catching the eye of the coaches at practice and at, our JV games and things like that. So, hopefully you get to see some of those guys on Friday nights.
We'll talk about a little bit about the D line as a whole, because they've done a great job too.
Yeah.
In, run defense and that sort of thing. So those guys have been pretty solid.
They have. And that, again, with Andrew kind of anchoring that, and Kyle Midkiff has been in their nose, and Bergen Wenzel, and I think Sam Lohman has been working some nose at times, as well as DN. So that crew is, I think after last week, with some of the things that happened to us defensively, and not just them, but I think our guys are ready to. Shouldn't say ready, that they know what it's going to take. They understand that kind of piece on what they have to do. Right.
And we just love watching those guys up front, and Sam Lohman, and he is Sam, right? That's
yeah.
I like that. Yeah. And he's a junior, which is exciting too. You see a player like that has some time to develop.
Yep. And he's each week, each practice, he takes a step forward again, and has continued to get better and continuing to believe in what he's capable of doing. And that's a lot of times kids don't really maybe see themselves in that position, meaning they may not see themselves as the Friday night guy or a guy that's capable of doing what they're doing until they do it, and then they expect it of themselves and believing in themselves that they are. I mean, you're very well capable of it, and so that we're growing in that sense with some of our younger guys, and realizing that, hey, I can do it. I can make the plays and do what's asked of me. I mean, we don't ever ask the kids as coaches. We don't try to put them. We don't put them in a position that they're not going to be successful. We're going to put them in a successful position where they can be successful for them and obviously the team.
No doubt about it, and. Just so much fun seeing them all play, and I mean, as they're learning, we start to see it, and it's fun. Yeah. You are watching the Coach Gray Show. If you're on Facebook Live, if you're not, you're listening to it, and you're having probably just as much fun as we are. I hope so. See ya. We'll be right back. Don't go away. We're not going anywhere. Brian says, no, we're not leaving. No, we're not leaving. We'll be right back.
Programming heard on KPGZ is being underwritten and supported by these local businesses.
Oak Point Assisted Living and Memory Care. What else would you expect? After all, you're home.
When I looked into an assisted living facility, I was immediately attracted to Oak Point's amenities. I get 3 delicious meals daily in restaurant-style dining areas and a trained staff on site.
To set up a tour or learn more information, please contact Tara at 816-628-0075 or visit the website at provisionliving.com.
I'm Sean Barber, owner of Stables Local Kitchen and Patio in Kearney. Stables is a Kearney thing. We love to be the place where people get together. Stables features a full menu with a scratch kitchen, offering lunch and dinner options, as well as a weekend breakfast starting at 8 a.m. on Saturday and Sundays. Stables has been a proud member of the Kearney community for almost 20 years. You can check us out online at Stables816.com, and Stables is part of the True 816 family. Eat, drink, local.
Scott Accounting and Tax provides our clients with quality accounting, tax preparation, payroll, and business creation services. Small town friendliness, big town expertise. We make it our business to know your business inside and out. You can trust Scott Accounting and Tax to get your taxes done quickly, correctly, and on time. Appointments now accepted by calling 816-352-3320. That's Scott Accounting and Tax at 816-352-3320.
More reliable power means more of what you love. You expect your lights and appliances to turn on at the flip of a switch, and so does Platte Clay Electric Cooperative. That's why Platte Clay is working hard to make power more reliable in the Northland. We exist for one purpose: to empower communities and energize life with safe and reliable energy. To learn more about their plan to reduce outages across the Northland, visit www.pcec.coop/reliability. Platte Clay Electric Cooperative.
The Coach Gray Show is on the air.
Laughlin finds an open seam up the middle. 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown, Garrett Laughlin on a 42-yard run.
Jim Dickerson and Mike Davis take you inside Kearney Bulldog football. The ways in the house of strategy, the honest assessment of skills, the lessons learned.
Corbin Bevan caught the ball in the air in full stride and ran it straight into the end zone untouched.
Go inside your favorite team every week on the Coach Gray Show, Thursdays at noon on 102.7 Kearney's hometown radio station.
Like that. Love that bumper music. I want to play a little air guitar here. Hey, Jim, give me a little air drum. Air drumming there, right?
Not gonna do it.
Like it.
Socks in the drawer.
That's
1,000 points of light.
Man, that is the bumper music of the century.
Or something that Coach Gray would be more familiar with.
Marty, don't go to 2020. Right? That would be pretty decent advice, I would say.
Yeah.
And we're back again with Coach Gray on the Coach Gray Show, and thanks again for being with us. I think we're at the point where we want to talk a little bit about your upcoming opponent. You're going away to Smithville, which is another, I'd say that's a little bit of a rivalry as well. It's easy for me to say. And they've been tough past couple of years, and I would expect you're probably looking at the same kind of team. They're well coached, and they draw from a pretty good sized area, and they're going to get a lot of talent.
Yeah, they do. They've got Coach Hambro does a great job over there, and as their coaches, and they're always a rival,
right?
And they always have a solid team. So
I don't have my sheet in front of me, but do they have the same quarterback as last year?
Yep.
I forget.
No.
What was that kid?
No, that's right. He was a senior, and I thought of that when we
Here's
watched
Mike,
that.
and I was glad to see him go.
Exactly. That last game, I was thinking, see you, buddy.
Man, I can't
nice
remember
job
his name.
You.
I only called it 1,000 times.
I know.
They're a well-coached team, and, I think as are our guys, and I think it's going to be a good game. I think, like we said before, our mindset has been focused all week on us and what we need to do, what do we need to fix, and how we play, and try not to worry about who we're playing, and worry about our execution and our ability. So,
and that's going to be a long trip over there. Are you guys leaving tonight, or what? How are you?
Yeah.
Do we know?
You never know on 92, right?
we still have the 2 tickets.
Yeah,
per player. That's okay.
Yep.
So
and you're Clay County because you're still Smithville,
right.
so that'll
same rules apply. So it's not going to be a full stadium by any stretch.
No.
All right. Well, I
don't know if we'll see that. I don't know what the.
There was.
We just worry about playing. I don't know where we're at.
I know.
I was going to say now, don't get excited.
Right.
Don't get excited. But I did see there is a county or somewhere that now has gone to 4 tickets per.
Right.
So what county was that?
Oh, it was Excelsior. Okay.
Aren't they in Clay County? They're in Clay County.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they don't have as many people.
We'll look into that and we'll report back.
Yeah, who knows?
But don't, for Smithville tomorrow, I think we're still on
I don't know
the
if that we're still
Here's something, though, that you have to think about. I mean, when you talk about, we're just thinking about what we have to do. We're thinking about our own assignments, and everybody's got to think about what is my responsibility on the field. And I got to believe, I mean, as football fans, there are people, and in fact, the media is doing it tonight. The Chiefs have not played one game yet, and people are already talking about who's the favorite for the Super Bowl. First of all, you have to play a football game, and then the rest of the season. So it's hard. If there's anything that's tougher to do, I don't know what it is, than to sit down with your schedule at the beginning of the year and not look down the road. How do you keep these kids focused on doing what they have to do that night, one play at a time? How hard is that?
Yeah, a testament to them and their mindset is, they come to practice knowing who we're preparing for and what they've got to do. And I don't think our kids ever underlook, or think that, this team's going to be too tough or wait till. No, our guys do a great job of being focused on, the now. And like we talked about before, that's kind of been the whole premise this whole year of, we don't know when we're playing, if we're having a season, back and forth, how long, what are we doing? We know what the now is, that we're at practice, and what are we doing to prepare for the next day? Is that a game? And what are we doing to prepare for that? Is it another practice? How are we preparing ourselves to get better? So they do a good job of just kind of really focusing in on what they need to worry about and what they need to do of getting better.
Well, give us a little behind the scenes look, because, as a coaching staff, and I think people a lot of times overlook this, you have to, so you have the game, who you're playing next week, but then you have all the variables you throw in. So weather, like tomorrow it might be raining, so everything will be wet. Injuries, who's going to be there, who's not. Now you throw in a little extra variable. Okay, so Roy was a little bit too close to Bob, and Bob won't be here because he, all that, you throw all that in. As a coaching staff, how do you guys prepare for the variables? And a lot of this changes minute to minute. I mean, you may be right up to game time or just short of before you know exactly who you've got and what you're going to do.
Yeah, and that could easily happen. That could happen right now. I mean,
right, exactly.
You don't know on that end. And I think, when you talk about practice, where are guys at and where do you position? What does your matrix look like of each position, of where they can go and what they're able to do, and what's best for the team, what's best for, who's the next guy up. And we've had to do that and bring next guy up, and next guy up's next guy up, and the expectation's the same. And regardless of who that is, and they're on the field for a reason, and that's our guy. I mean, that's the mindset. And so as far as, behind the scenes of trying to figure out this or that, you can only worry about what you can do. And, you just hopefully you prepared for possible scenarios and situations that can come up. And, so yeah, there's a few matrices. That's hard to say. Matrices. Is that a word?
No.
Matrices?
No, it's
there
not.
There is a matrix.
We know what you mean, and yeah.
But please continue.
Matrices.
Our staff is probably laughing if they. They're the matrix of the singular.
I know where you're going, and I think that makes sense. The thing that
I can
is.
Make you laugh today.
Well,
it doesn't take much for me.
Yeah, we like to have fun.
But we have contingency plans for different scenarios and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think as the game changes, and you don't know how they might line up completely different. I mean, your practice team could be
sure
you're going to get one look, and then you might show up and they're going to pull something that you've never seen before, and maybe we'll do the same thing. Yep. I'm just saying.
You never know.
Right?
But it's a good argument too for if you're a freshman. And you may be 3 or 4 or 5 down, but you need to play like you might be the next guy out, because who knows?
I think exactly right.
In fact, there's a couple of 6th graders right now that probably ought to be gearing up because at the rate this is going. But you never. I mean, because you've talked about that in the past. You always want to prepare. You never want to sit back and say, well, they're never going to call me anyway, because you never know when you may be the next guy
And
out.
some guys find that out pretty quick. You're like, what? Oh, okay, you're the guy, so it's time to go. And our guys have, I think that's hard to do as a young athlete to think, well, this guy's ahead of me, and maybe this other guy, maybe working in, but you never know, and that's kind of sometimes hard to grasp. But how true that is, that they are one play or 1 minute
right.
or 1 hour away from, having to be or having that opportunity to step up and show what they're capable of doing.
So everybody that puts a uniform on that night, on any given game night, it's possible. For the most part, I mean, is that a stretch to say?
I think it goes farther than that, because when you look at a Monday,
right.
On Monday, I may not. Who knows what's going to happen by the time it's Friday, and that happens at every level. Because how many times have you watched an NFL game and so Johnson just threw for 37 yards last week? He was sacking groceries at the
yes, exactly.
So,
right.
If that's what you want to do, you need to prepare and be ready to go on game night, no matter who you are.
And that's sometimes a hard concept.
And that explains
for younger
why,
guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
For younger guys to realize that, but
you think you're 2 years away,
right? And don't prepare like you're 2 years away. Prepare like
I'm
tomorrow,
playing Friday,
and
whatever. Yeah.
And if that opportunity arises, then great. Then take advantage of it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then continue to get yourself better and prepare so that that you're ready to go when your time's there.
And so, will you listen to him, Mike, and quit making fun of me when I show up in the press box with my helmet and my pads?
Oh man, there was a time when
I'd be scared to
I used to think that wouldn't it be fun to put some pads on and go out there and give it a try, and let me tell you.
No,
I'm not thinking that. I haven't thought that.
I mean,
in a
if
number
you want
of
me to
years.
stand down on the field and coach for a little bit, I'm more than happy to do that.
Oh man,
you should have thrown. What? We're punting?
Goodness.
Okay, maybe you shouldn't have thrown.
So Smithville tomorrow night. It's hard to believe it that this is Thursday for whatever reason. I don't know. It was a short week. That's why. Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
So Smithville, and at 7:00, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm guessing then we can watch the game. The BBN will have it on, right? The kids will have it on.
No, I think Smithville does it.
Oh, okay.
We would have to watch it on Smithville.
Okay.
So I don't. They have the same problems we have.
That's that. Yeah, misinformation. Then forget what I said.
Way to go. That's Mike Davis, DAVI.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Yeah, but yeah, I think some way somehow you can get on the YouTubes. You know how to do that. And hopefully catch a little bit of this game tomorrow night. That's what I intend to do.
Absolutely.
And good luck. Best of luck to you.
Thank you much.
I think we'll be I'm feeling good. It's generally a good sign, but I'm not making a prediction here. That gets me in trouble. So I think I might have made it. Was it last week I made a prediction?
Yeah, we told you to stop.
Yeah. So, but I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Anything we should know? I'm not going to ask you if there's any surprises, because 2 weeks in a row you've let me down.
Yeah.
You won't tell me what's going on.
We're gonna go out there and we're gonna block. We're gonna run. We're gonna catch the football. We're gonna run with the football.
And you're
we're
gonna
gonna
play
tackle
4
the football.
quarters.
We're gonna play 4 quarters.
Excellent.
And we're gonna improve on what we need to improve on. So.
Here are my expectations when I come to this show, Jim, that we're going to get answers from Coach Gray, just like that one. And but no, you do a great job. Thank you so much for being with us, Coach.
It
is a pleasure. It's an honor to have you.
The playoffs?
Playoffs? Talking about playoffs. Thanks so much for being with us. This time we are checking out, but we'll be back next week with the Coach Gray Show. Don't miss him tomorrow night at Smithville, and good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you much. Appreciate all you do.
See you next week.